An earth tremor is reported from the east of Sri Lanka. The cabinet approval granted to set up 3 private medical colleges. The National Poisoning Information Centre says many cases of poisoning are reported in the island. The lower Malwatoya irrigation project recommences. 22 years completed after Al-Qaeda terrorist attack against the World Trade Center in the USA. Sri Lanka meets India tomorrow in the Super 4 round match of the Asia Cup.
We start with local news. An earth tremor is reported from the east of Sri Lanka.
The Geological Survey and Mines Bureau says that there is no risk of tsunami due to this tremor. Senior geologist of the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau, Sanjeeva Hettiarachchi, said that the tremor occurred at 1:29 a.m. today. It was located 310 kilometers northeast of the coast of Batticaloa. The magnitude of the earthquake was 4.65 on the Richter scale. Senior geologist Sanjeeva Hettiarachchi said the tremor was recorded in all 4 measuring scales belonging to the Geological Survey and Mines Bureau. He said there was no tsunami threat as the earthquake was not powerful enough to generate tsunami waves. The geologist, however, pointed out that if that earthquake occurred in the land, there would be a possibility of having damages.
The 54th session of the Human Rights Council was commenced this afternoon at the Palais des Nations in Geneva. The 54th regular session will take place from today to the 13th of October.
The Council will hold 29 interactive dialogues with special procedure mandate holders, expert mechanisms and investigative mechanisms. The opening session was addressed by the United Nations Deputy High Commissioner for Human Rights, Nada al-Nashir.
The Council has been presented with the written update of the High Commissioner on the situation of human rights in Sri Lanka. The country continues to deal with the aftermath of the deep economic crisis of 2022 and the current stresses in the global economy. As the country's poverty rate has doubled from 13% in 2021 to 25% last year in 2022, another 2.5 million people have been driven into poverty, and an estimated 37% of households face acute food insecurity. As the government implements its economic recovery policies, it should be guided by its obligations under the International Covenant on Economic, Social and Cultural Rights to protect the most vulnerable. The international community, including international financial institutions, should keep supporting Sri Lanka in its recovery. The report recommends that the government accelerate investigations and prosecutions in emblematic cases of human rights violations, including the Easter Sunday bombings, in compliance with international human rights standards. The High Commissioner has repeatedly recommended that the government of Sri Lanka should establish a follow-up, independent and transparent investigation into the Easter Sunday attacks with international assistance and the full participation of victims and their representatives.
The government of Sri Lanka has consistently rejected resolutions 46/1 and 51/1 that led to the setting up of the so-called accountability project. We also reject the written update, its conclusions and recommendations. We recall that the majority of member states either opposed or abstained from voting on these resolutions in fundamental disagreement with their unacceptable content, in particular the so-called evidence-gathering mechanism, the establishment of which is unprecedented. We reiterate that it goes beyond the mandate that member states conferred on the Council by UNGA Resolution 60/251. Mr. President, these resolutions are intrusive and polarizing and upheld only by a handful of countries for reasons unrelated to human rights and based on their vote bank domestic politics. Many countries have raised serious concerns on the budgetary implications of this resolution given its dubious mandate. Sri Lanka has repeatedly pointed out that this is an unproductive and unhelpful drain on the resources of the Council and its members. Therefore, Sri Lanka will not cooperate with it. However, as an active participant of the multilateral framework and in keeping with our close engagement with the international community and the Council in other areas of its work, Sri Lanka will continue to engage constructively with other mechanisms of the Council that have been productive and beneficial to our people. The content of the written update does not reflect the actual situation in Sri Lanka. The economic, social and financial stabilization Sri Lanka has achieved in the past year has been appreciated and acknowledged domestically and externally. Those who are mandated and have the expertise to deal with economic economic and financial reforms, remain confident in the country's prospects.
Minister of Health, Hydroelectric Rupavahini, announced today that the Cabinet has granted approval for the establishment of 3 private medical colleges within Sri Lanka. Minister Rupavahini emphasized that these new medical institutions will adhere to the standards set by existing medical schools in the country. He made these remarks addressing a media briefing held at the Presidential Media Centre today on the theme Collective Path to a Stable Country. The minister stressed that professors who have worked as consultants in the medical colleges of our country have outlined minimum qualifications. There is a law that mandates other recognized medical schools in this country to meet or exceed these standards. Additionally, 3 hospitals have been integrated into these universities. The minister also revealed that these universities have been urged to allocate scholarships to 10% of their student population, acknowledging the existence of qualified students who face financial barriers to pursuing medical education. Minister Rupavahini took the opportunity to address concerns about the brain drain of medical professionals, attributing it to economic challenges faced by the country in 2019. He assured that the government is committed to addressing these issues, particularly regarding doctors' remuneration. He highlighted the need for comprehensive short, medium and long-term plans to address these challenges and pointed out that countries like England offer significantly higher salaries to medical professionals educated in Sri Lanka's free education system. In furtherance of our commitment to addressing critical healthcare challenges, it is essentially to consider augmenting the intake capacity in specific domains. Currently, there exist stipulated minimum qualifications and approximately 13 medical faculties throughout the country. Regrettably, around only 2,000 individuals are admitted into these institutions. It is evident that there is ample room to expand these numbers, as the intellectual capabilities of our nation's youth are beyond question. It is imperative to provide opportunities to those with foundational qualifications who aspire to excel in the medical field. In a related development, the motion of no confidence presented against Minister Rupavahini in Parliament was defeated. He acknowledged the constructive suggestions provided during the debate and pledged to take steps to implement them. He also presented evidence countering false allegations made during the motion, including concerns about the quality and availability of medicines in response to allegations raised with the no confidence motion, particularly concerning the quality of medicines. I had the opportunity to present evidence substantiating the veracity of our claims. Reference was made to a report from 2017 highlighting issues related to substandard medications, with subsequent years showing varying numbers of such incidents: 85 in 2018, 96 in 2019, 17 in 2020, 88 in 2021, 86 in 2022 and 43 so far in 2023. It is worth noting that in some cases reports of substandard drugs have emerged years after their approval, registration and utilization. We have initiated a comprehensive investigation into these reported incidents of inferior quality medicines. Additionally, there were allegations regarding the shortage of essential medicines, a concern we take seriously and are actively addressing. Minister Rupavahini also said that our ongoing commitment remains to bolster our healthcare system, ensure the availability of high-quality medicines and provide opportunities for aspiring medical professionals. We recognize the need for continued dialogue and effective action to overcome the challenges facing our healthcare sector and to uphold the well-being of our citizens.
Several political parties held their election promotion rallies at several places in the island yesterday, targeting the upcoming elections. Mathura District Electoral Conference of the Nidahas Janatha Sabha was held at the Yatiyana Pradesh Sabha Auditorium. It was organised by parliamentarian Dallas Ala Perma. Parliamentarian Charita Herat said that this is a country that imported grass. It is to be noted that the products can be imported cheaply from abroad, but this is done by a person who has no knowledge about the Sri Lankan economy. The retired members of the Forum of the Three Armed Forces, organised by the National People's Power, was held in the Badulla town yesterday with the participation of party leader Anurakumara Dissanayake. NPP leader Anurakumara Dissanayake said that the politician in the south as well as in the north and ETA uses racism as a tool to enforce and hold on to power. Sri Lanka needs a political solution without racism, but a united existence among Sinhalese, Tamils and Muslims in the united country. The National People's Power has the ability to unite the masses to prosper Sri Lanka. The Beliyatta electoral meeting of the Sri Lanka Podujana Peramuna was held yesterday. Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa and many other party members and supporters were present at this meeting. Parliamentarian Namal Rajapaksa said that as a party representing the modern society and a majority of the youth of the NPP has plans to develop the tourism industry, especially to convert the Mattala airport as one of the important airports in the country.
Colombo University has signed a memorandum of understanding with the Warsaw University in Poland, symbolically. This MOU will widen the opportunities of higher education sector between Poland and Sri Lanka. INCO 2023, the two-day conference international on international relations, which was held at the Arts Faculty of Colombo University, concluded yesterday. It was organized for the fifth occasion by the Department of International Relations. The conference was headed by Professor Manisha Vanasinghe Pascal. A number of local and foreign academics participated at the opening ceremony of the conference. The keynote address was delivered by the Dean of the Hitoth Subashi campus in Japan, Professor Nobumasa Akiyama. In the sidelines of the conference, the Department of International Relations of the Memorandum of Understanding signed the new Memorandum of Understanding with the Faculty of Political Science and International Relations of the Warsaw University was signed symbolically. The two parties also signed an agreement in 2019.
This conference we call Inquire 2023. It's on geopolitical regionalism, and it contributes so much for academia to the field of international relations, security studies, international law, environmental law, sustainable development goals, disaster management, and many areas.
Thanks to this memorandum of understanding, students will have opportunity to go to University of Warsaw, but also what is the most important, very important, it will be continuation of faculty member cooperation, research cooperation, and will have impact on political, social, economic relations between Poland and Sri Lanka and South Asia.
I'm sure that in the globalized world and with all the challenges and threats that the world is facing now, we will be able to cooperate even closer through the exchange of students, through the exchange of academics and common research between our universities.
The National Toxic Information Center of the Colombo National Hospital says that many incidents of poisoning are reported in Sri Lanka at present.
About 80,000 persons are hospitalized annually due to unexpected poisoning. Out of the amount of 90% of victims are children. The Health Ministry has declared the week begins from today to the 17th of this month as the National Poisoning Prevention Week.
Out of the entire cases of poisoning, 70% of individuals take poison deliberately. According to the National Poisoning Information Center, 30% are subjected to poisoning by accident. According to the data available at the center, cases of poisoning are mainly reported from Anuradhapura and Kurunegala districts. Majority of the cases are accidentally poisoning in households. It is a serious crisis that 90% of accidentally poisoning cases are children. Paracetamol poisoning among children is frequently reported these days. Doctors point out that there is a risk of deactivating liver among children due to providing higher doses of paracetamol. In addition, many cases of poisoning are reported among children due to consuming toxic herbals and yams.
Now in other stories, Prime Minister Dinesh Gunawardena discussed the possibility of early resumption of the Lower Malwatoya hydro solar power electricity irrigation project as a public-private partnership project with the foreign investments.
The Chinese investors who built the Yanoya Dam called on the Prime Minister at the Temple Trees today to discuss the Prime Minister's proposal to install solar panels on Yanoya Reservoir as well as the proposed Malwatoya Reservoir to generate 100 megawatts of electricity and irrigate 22,000 hectares of land in Anuradhapura and Trincomalee districts. The Chinese investment team headed by senior business manager Andrew Yang said Yanoya Reservoir could be used as a mega solar power generation platform by installing floating solar panels. Such a project could generate electricity for the national grid and also earn funds for completion of the lower Malwatoya project. The proposed project cost will be US $160 million, and in the first phase, floating solar panels will be placed on Yanoy Reservoir and generate 50 megawatts electricity that could be sold to the national grid. Once the Malwatoya Reservoir is completed in 2 years, solar panels could be installed to add another 50 megawatts. Former Minister S.M. Chandrasena said the first survey and feasibility study for Lower Malwatoya project was done more than a decade ago when he was Deputy Minister of Irrigation. He thanked the Prime Minister for the steps taken to resume the project that would irrigate land in Anuradhapura and Trincomalee districts to boost rice and cash crop production. The Chinese investors would assist the farmers to grow rice and cash crops and export part of the production to China. MPs S.M. Chandrasena, Additional Secretary Mahinda Gunaratna and senior officials and project evaluators took part in the discussion.
Here's more local news in brief. Power supply was curtailed for several places in Ambalangoda town as a bus has knocked on a transformer. This accident is a result of the fight between two drivers of private buses. Ambalangoda police is conducting investigations to arrest the culprits. Sri Suddasi Audiovisual Kites competition was held at Vavita Lake premises in Bandaragama yesterday. This event has been organised by Sri Punyavardhana Rama Temple in Bandaragama and residents of the area. Over 100 kites of various varieties were displayed at this competition. The renovated fish stall of the Ceylon Fisheries Corporation at Nabad in Kaluthara was reopened today under the patronage of State Minister P.L. Nishantha. Fish are sold at concessionary rates at the stall. Foundation stone was laid recently for the proposed new 3-storey building at the Al-Hidra College in Damadeniya. A sum of 50 million rupees granted by Kuwait will be spent for this building. Parliamentarian Dayasiri Jayasekara and many others were present at the foundation laying ceremony.
A port access centre was opened today to provide information regarding the services of the harbour. The aim of this centre is to provide information more conveniently to local and foreign customers. Information on the harbour services are available every day of the week from 8:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. through the hotline 1987. This centre also hopes to inform the public over the activities taking place in the harbours. This will also grant easy access to exporters, importers and cargo agents as well. Minister Nimal Siripala De Silva, Chairman of the Sri Lanka Ports Authority, Keith Bernard and many top officials were present at the opening ceremony.
Children are a precious resource for a nation. Therefore, looking after them is a responsibility of each citizen. This is a story about a daughter who needs help from the people. Nithumi Dilmeth, a student of grade 8 in Udugama National School, and she is addressed as summonally by her loved ones. She is suffering from a failure of her liver and the doctors have recommended a surgery for her. She has already had treatment at the Ragama Hospital and Lady Ridgeway Children's Hospital in Colombo. However, she has to be sent to a hospital in India for further treatment. Her surgery cost 12 million rupees. Her mother is a tailor and unable to find such a huge amount of money. Therefore, we all should help her to overcome her illness. Stay with us for the very latest on the earthquake update coming up next.
Welcome back. Now on foreign news, the Interior Ministry of Morocco says that the number of people killed in Friday's powerful earthquake in Morocco has risen to 2,497. Foreign media reports that rescuers have been using their bare hands to dig for survivors. Heavy lifting equipment can't get through roads blocked by boulders to reach remote villages near the epicenter in the Atlas Mountains. Local media reports that many people lie in ruins with local people desperately awaiting aid. The Moroccan government says it has accepted aid from 4 countries so far: Britain, Spain, Qatar and the United Arab Emirates. Friday's earthquake, which is known to be the country's deadliest in 60 years, struck below villages in the high Atlas Mountains south of Marrakesh. Meanwhile, Spain's defense ministry has shared photos of one of the Spanish search and rescue teams which have been deployed to Morocco, as well as locating victims of the earthquake. This unit will also be helping to coordinate the aid response with the rest of the international teams, the ministry said in a statement.
Today marks the 22nd anniversary of September 11 attacks, which was one of the deadliest terrorist attacks in the history of the United States. Attacks including a series of airline hijacks and suicides against New York City and Washington, D.C. caused extensive destruction as it took nearly 3,000 lives. It is believed that the key planner of the 9/11 attacks was Khalid Sheikh Mohammed, who was an active member of the Muslim Brotherhood. Some media reports revealed that Khalid's plan was to blow up more than a dozen American planes during the 1990s, but that failed and he joined hands with Osama bin Laden, with whom he organized the 9/11 terrorist attack. After over 2 decades since the terrorist attacks, the remains of the 2 people who died in the 9/11 attack on the World Trade Center have been identified, the latest positive identification in the decades-long effort to return victims to their families. Authorities confirmed the identification of the remains of a man and a woman was also brought to notice.
Welcome back now on Sports News. The second match of Sri Lanka in the Asia Cup Super 4 round will be played tomorrow against India.
The match will begin at 3 p.m. tomorrow at the R. Premadasa grounds in Colombo. Sri Lanka defeated Bangladesh by 5 wickets in their first match of the preliminary round. As the second match, Sri Lanka defeated Afghanistan to qualify for the Super 4 round. In this round, Sri Lanka again defeated Bangladesh by 21 runs. India's first match of the preliminary round against Pakistan was abandoned due to rain. India qualified for the Super 4 round by defeating Nepal. India will meet Sri Lanka tomorrow as their second Super 4 encounter. Sri Lanka and India have played 165 ODIs so far. Out of them, India has won 96 and Sri Lanka 57 matches. 1 match was tied and 11 matches have ended up without a decision.
The Super 4 round match of the Asia Cup between India and Pakistan is currently being played at the R. Premadasa grounds in Colombo. Batting first, India scored 356 runs for the loss of 2 wickets in their 50 overs.
The match was played yesterday and stopped halfway due to rain. India were 147 runs for 2 wickets in 24.1 overs at the time of the stop of play yesterday. The match started today from the place where they stopped. Virat Kohli and KL Rahul were in the crease at the time. They were successfully faced with the Pakistan bowlers today, as well as the KL Rahul recorded 6th ODI century. Virat Kohli scored 47th ODI century today. He also passed the 13,000 runs of his ODI career. He is the 5th batsman who achieved this goal. Virat Kohli scored 122 runs not out and KL Rahul at 111 runs not out.
Rahul wants to 100 for KL Rahul in one-day international cricket.
England, Japan, South Africa and Wales recorded wins at matches played yesterday at the Rugby World Cup in France 2023.
England hold on.
England played against Argentina under the D category of the tournament. England defeated Argentina by 27 to 10 points.
With the men from South America, they get over for the first try in this game. Argentina. Danny Kerr pops this one out, and England will have silenced some of their critics as they win the opening Pool D match of the 2023 record.
Japan also played against Chile in the D category. Japan recorded victory at the end of the game for 42 for 12 points.
It's going to be called away just about from Saavedra, but lost his feet as he came through. Japan had a hole, powering to the line. Go short side, and that is the way he goes. Oh, stretching.
South Africa played against Scotland in the B category and recorded victory 18 for 3 points.
Can't quite find it just there, but pressing and probing. And there's the hole for Inagaki. Stop 3 metres short, and now flat and hard and over. Oh, it's a hard work, well-worked try.
Wales played against Fiji Island under the C category.
Here's Marks again, going low.
Wales team led the game right from the beginning and ended up defeating the opponents for 32 for 36 points.
He eats it like a quacker burger.
St. Peter's College Bambalapitiya became the champions of the President's Trophy Knockout Rugby Tournament by defeating the Colombo Isipathana College team in the final match. St. Peter's College in Bambalapitiya became the champions of the President's Trophy Knockout Rugby Tournament by defeating the Colombo Isipathana College team in the final match. The final match was played at the Sugatadasa Stadium in Colombo yesterday. In the first half of the game, St. Peter's team led the game 19 to 8 points. In the second half, St. Peter's College scored another 6 points. Accordingly, St. Peter's won the game 25 to 16 points against the Isipathana team. Novak Djokovic of Serbia became the champion of the men's single event at the US Open tennis tournament. He defeated Daniil Medvedev of Russia in the finals yesterday. Taking lead since the beginning, he won the first round 6-3, second round 7-6 and the third round 6-3. Accordingly, Djokovic won the trophy by 3-0. This is the 4th time Djokovic won a US Open. This is the 24th occasion Djokovic won a Grand Slam tennis tournament. According to the international rankings, Novak Djokovic is in the 2nd place.
Everyone, your 2023 US Open champion, Novak Djokovic.
Germany became the champions of the World Cup Basketball Tournament 2023. Germany defeated Serbia at the final game held in Manila in the Philippines. At the end of the first half, both teams tied the game with 47 to 47 points. After the second half, Germany led the game 83 to 77. This is the first time Germany became world basketball champions.
Trying to win it with the threes. Schroeder gets in, he goes fast! I don't think Germany have done it! They have conquered the world! Brilliant performance from Alexa Abramovich and Bogdan Bogdanovic. And there you go, folks. The traditional celebration, and this time it's Germany to get a chance to lift the nation.
That's it for the news this evening. Have a good night.